Hey guys, how's it going? So recently I purchased a new Taurus G3c Toro, and this is basically a G3c, except for this is the Taurus Optics Ready option. So in my initial unboxing and review, which if you're new to the channel, I'll leave a link to my Taurus playlist down in the description, so make sure you go back and watch that one first. But I told you guys, I obviously bought this to put an optic on it, and I asked you guys for suggestions, and you guys gave me many good suggestions, and I decided I'm going to start off with a UTG OP3 Micro. This is a green dot, and this fits within the budget price range, coming in at a little bit under $150. And I'm going to leave a link to this down in the description. That is an affiliate link if you were to decide to purchase this or anything on Amazon. Just by clicking through my link does help the channel. And like I said, you guys gave me tons of good suggestions, and I'm gonna probably get more of these later to try out on this Taurus G3c and a couple other pistols. But I decided on the UTG for now. There's cheaper optics out there, and there's certainly more expensive optics out there, but I thought this fit the price range, and it might be something that's in the range that a lot of you guys are looking for. And I would like to thank everyone who helps support the channel and allows me to buy things like this to review. So I hope you guys like what I'm doing, and if you'd like to help out the channel, there's links for my Patreon and to become a channel member down there in the description. So UTG, this is made overseas, which is the case with most optics, unless you go higher end, but the company, Leapers, is in Livonia, Michigan, so it is a local company even though it's made overseas. Now there's Trijicon and other high quality optics. Trijicon's actually less than an hour from here, but just didn't quite have that in the budget. And if I had to guess, a lot of you who are buying these pistols, which are very affordable, probably don't have Trijicon money right now. So let's see what we think of this UTG. Now, there were some things right away that really impressed me about this, and that's why I ultimately made my decision. Now, this is made out of a T6061 T6 aluminum with a matte anodized coating on it. It is IPX7 waterproof. This is the green dot. 4 MOA, which I think is a perfect size for a handgun. You may want something a little smaller if you're doing longer range precision shooting, but 4 MOA, that's going to be plenty big enough for me to pick up. And I opted for the green dot because I think it's better, you know, in average lighting conditions. And your preference is going to vary on all these things. This has a multi-coated lens, and they advertise a large field of view, which is good. Now here's what really impressed me with this optic. They're advertising 20,000 hours plus battery life. That's like 2.25 years, and that's at the middle brightness setting using a common CR2032 battery. It's actually the same battery they use for the CMOS, it's called, on your computer motherboard, and a lot of, you know, remote controls for your remote starters and car keyless entry. So I like the fact that it takes a common battery. And here's another thing to note. Some of the optics companies are starting to rate their battery life on setting 1. Now with this having 8 settings, they're rating it at setting 4, which is medium brightness. And in my opinion, that's how optics companies should be rating their battery life. But make sure you guys check that when you're looking for an optic. So 20,000 hours over 2 years, that's pretty awesome. It comes with a removable low profile Picatinny base, which I'm not going to be using for the Toro, but that means this is an option for your AR or something that has a Picatinny rail installed on it, right? So a lot of you guys will like the versatility. It utilizes the common Doctor footprint, so we're going to go over that in just 1 second. There's going to be a mounting plate for that with the Taurus. And there's also a UTG RDM20 mount that's compatible with this mount as well. And it comes with a lifetime warranty where UTG will repair or replace your optic if defective. They say that it'll co-witness with most suppressor height sights, so I'll probably check that out later. Now keep in mind, the G3c Toro, these do use a Glock cut dovetail as well as the front sight. Now with certain Glock sight options, it is going to hang over the rear again, but certainly it is the same dovetail, and I should be able to find some suppressor height sights fairly easy, with being probably the most common sights available. So big plus on these G3Cs and G3C Toros. So it comes with a cover plate here, and you could just shoot it like this forever, but this does need to be removed to put it on. as you guys know, my first impressions with this pistol have been great, and I really like these guns a lot. Now, I'm going to take one little knock on it. Not enough that could discourage you, but I'm just going to tell you guys what I experienced. You'll notice there's a couple small machine screws with a Allen head type fastener. Well, I went to take them off with the included Allen wrench, and I'll tell you what, guys, it was crazy. It wouldn't budge. I mean, I got the Allen key seated right in there as hard as I could. I was going to rip my fingers off, or just felt like I was going to break the wrench. The screws literally would not come out. So I grabbed a pair of pliers just to keep from breaking this little guy. And I tried it this way at first. Nothing. I then said, well, maybe I can get a little bit better reinforcement this way. So I lined these all the way up in this pliers. Now I was using this for backup on the tool so that it wouldn't instantly shear. So you can see I was choking up that much on this wrench. Try it again. Literally nothing. And this is kind of crazy, guys. Completely twisted this Allen key like a candy cane, both ways. Still couldn't get it out, so I got out my soldering iron and used the tip without any solder, just a trick to heat it up, and applied heat. Nice and hot, trying to melt whatever type of thread sealant or thread locker they put on there. Still didn't work, so I went and grabbed a higher quality Allen key that I had. Did the same thing, choked up on it with the pliers. Finally, with this higher quality Allen key, I was barely able to get these to break. It did not ruin the head of the screw, but you can see they're nicked up a little bit. So I did get them loose. When I got off the screw, it had like a white thread lock on there, which I'm not familiar with. And that's why when we put this back together, I'm going to use this blue Loctite, which is removable. And I always recommend this. Do not use anything like a red high strength thread locker on any of these small gun parts. Another one you could try out is this Vibratite VC3 thread mate. Now I know it's red in color, but don't confuse this with traditional high strength red. This is actually a removable product that's adjustable, reusable, and it's made for low torque applications such as this. So I just thought I'd throw it out there because, like I said, I'm just a regular guy like all of you. I buy these pistols, and this was a booger, and I did run into some problems. So we're going to put this on in just a second, but let's take a look inside the box. I'm kind of excited about this. It looks like a really nice product, 20,000 hours. So let's take a look. And for all of you that like knives, this is my Boker automatic AK-74 model. It's a really cool knife, and hey, I don't really show many knives on here, and I know some of you guys like that kind of stuff. So let's take a peek at this little UTG, and I'll give you guys my first impressions as I'm unboxing it for you right here. Right away, the box has a little weight to it, but it does include the 1913 Picatinny adapter, which I think is most of the weight. Alright, it looks like it comes with a little tool here, like a flat blade screwdriver. Set that aside. A couple Allen keys, which I would note are much beefier than the previous one that Taurus included. Here's my Panasonic CR2032. Hey, it's the little things, right? But it's kind of cool that they gave me a name brand battery with this. Usually whenever you get anything, the battery's some kind of off-brand that you've never heard of before. Here's some various screws. These screws, I would note, are numbered, so these are going to be used for different platforms. We have a microfiber cleaning cloth. Instructions, owner's manual, which I'm definitely going to read because I'm not an expert at these optics. So there we go, OP3 Reflex Micro. And let's get to the optic itself here. Okay. Comes with a nice rubbery feeling cover. This is pliable. It kind of feels like a silicone type, maybe neoprene rubber material. So that's nice. We can see here's our Picatinny adapter. If you're mounting this on a rail, this is going to be an awesome bonus. I'm going to be taking this off, however, because I'm going to mount it using the plates that are included with the Toro. So I'm just going to take a look right through here. Look at you guys through the camera. Yeah, the glass looks pretty darn clear right away. Wow. Very nice. And you can see the reflection. It's kind of weird when you look through a red dot. And this is pretty cool too. I just noticed this. It comes with a line etched right in the center, and this would actually serve as an alternate aiming point if the optic were to go out. So I kind of like that. I think they call these tertiary aiming points, but yeah, look at that. All right, we've got our adjustments. Let's see if we can get that to focus in here. Here, and I believe this does have 1 MOA per click, which is nice. All right, I'm gonna finish taking this adapter off, get the battery in here, get it mounted on here, and see what I think. And then of course I'm gonna be taking this out to the range soon and give you guys my opinion. But overall, right away, I can tell you this much: it feels pretty solid. Plenty of aluminum there. I like the styling of it. Once I get this adapter off of here, I think it's gonna be pretty darn small and sit right on the top of this Toro slide. No, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look a lot better in 2 seconds. I'll be back. So I've removed the cover plate, and this is where we're going to reference our Taurus manual. Page 33 here. They came with this G3c Toro. And we're going to see right here, for the doctor footprint, we're going to use plate 1, type A screw. Pretty straightforward. So I've grabbed plate 1 and a couple of the appropriate screws. Now I'll show you one more thing. After I removed the Picatinny mount, this is how it looks right here. Interfaces with the 4 pegs into the optic with the 2 screws, and here's what the bottom of it looks like. We can see where it takes our CR 2032. There is a rubber gasket type material that's going to go all the way around, and that is going to mate up to the plate, and that's what gives this its waterproof rating. So there's what the bottom looks like if you guys are curious. And I would note where your battery seats in, this is also magnetized, and that's supposed to keep it and reduce the chances of flickering anyways. And check this out, you can see the magnets holding up this Allen key here. So when you go ahead and place the battery, you're going to feel it just kind of like suck itself right in. And I haven't even pushed it in, and the magnet's holding it right there in place. So nice little feature I thought I'd show you. Pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at this plate. And I'm really impressed with the plates that come with the G3c Toro. First of all, they're all metal, which is nice. I know some other guns that are comparable price to this come with plastic plates. So you're going to see there's a couple different keyways here on the one end, and then this square cutout. This is already very stable. No room front to back whatsoever. No room side to side. And I haven't even put in the mounting screws. So take a look at how that works there. Very impressed with the mounting platform on this slide. I think this is going to be more stable than a lot of the options that are out there. Don't get mad at me, Glock guys, but probably even a little better than the Glock mounting system, in my opinion. But you guys can let me know down there in the comment section what you think. So here it is, the OP3 Micro. What do you guys think? I think it's looking pretty good. It fits the gun rather well. I would note that the anodizing is almost a direct match for the tenifer slide of the pistol. I think it's looking pretty darn good, guys. Now, right now, I do have it set on the medium setting. I'm indoors with tons of light. I have lights all around me right now for filming these videos, and I'm still able to pick it up fairly well. Now, although there's no visual laser that's projected from this type of sight, it does give you the illusion that you're putting like a laser dot on the wall or the target or whatever it is. And it's actually a good way to do a little bit of dry fire practice. With me aiming at this wall currently, if I'm being sloppy and jerking my shots around, I can literally watch that dot move and jiggle all over. And then that can get you to practice, you know, keeping the pistol nice and straight where you're not pulling your shots as much for faster and more accurate follow-ups. Now, the way I usually rack my pistol is just coming over the top of the slide like this. This is blocking me, but I'm more than comfortable just grabbing onto the top of the housing with the palm of my hand and then just grabbing onto the slide here. And I can rack it with ease. Another thing I would note, if you had like a tabletop or a ledge, you could rack the handgun like that and make sure, you know, do whatever you feel comfortable with. But in my opinion, this is a rather solid aluminum housing. If I needed to, especially in a pinch, to rack this off of a table or whatnot, feels plenty sturdy to me. So, durability, I don't know. I just bought it. Will it really get the 20,000 hours battery life? I'm not sure. But overall, I like the fit and finish of it. The glass looks very clear to me. I'm able to pick up that green dot nice and easy on the medium setting. One more thing to note, and this is actually why I chose this particular green dot sight, and this is going to be a matter of preference, but this is always on, and that's what I like about it. You hit it once and it turns on. Now you can turn it off if you want to, don't get me wrong, but some of the different optics out there, and they make different versions of these, are shake awake or they automatically go to sleep after a certain amount of time. I like my optic to stay on all the time unless I manually choose to push the power button. I'll try to show you real quick what it looks like. It's kind of weird filming a green dot through the camera here. Let me see. You can see that little faint dot. It looks a lot brighter than that in real life. It's just the way it refracts through the lens, but you guys can see that little teeny dot poking around there. That's kind of what, it's nothing what it looks like, but hey, it's as best I can do on camera. This is going to stay on until I choose to turn it off. That's what I want. I think I'm going to be concealed carrying this soon. Once I test this optic out and take the gun out to the range and do some more, you know, testing just to prove that it's working good. But I want to be able to draw from the holster and immediately have my optic on. Shake awake or shake on is okay feature, but that's just extra parts that could go out. Now, I certainly don't like some of the red dot sights that have very limited battery life, and the suggested use is to turn it on and off because that's just too much. It's too much manipulation. Under high stress, I cannot guarantee me or any of you, it's hard for us to know what it'd be like, but you can't guarantee you're going to find this little switch and be able to flip it under duress, bump in the night. You're already injured. You just saw somebody else get injured. Just imagine the scenarios that could possibly happen. You know, we pray they don't, but we have to be prepared for the worst. And that's why I'm just going to leave this thing on. Brightness setting 4 seems pretty good to me. I may tweak it, and if I decided to go with 5, okay, maybe I'll expect the battery life to last, you know, less than 2 years, a year and a half. These batteries are so cheap, I'll probably just replace it. If I decide to carry it like this, I'll probably just replace it once a year, whether it needs it or not, because I just don't want to fool around and risk even the possibility of it going dead. Brightness settings are easy right here. There's like a rubberized switch on the side. I like the features of it so far. It seems really good on paper. The glass is clean. The dot looks good. I like the styling of it. It matches this Toro, in my opinion, almost perfectly. We can see it does overlap just a little bit, so I'll show you guys that right there. I don't know if that's going to be of any concern to you or not, but it just barely overlaps. This is using the common doctor footprint and many other optics. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can gauge that there. It sticks over, if I had to guess, maybe a, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch on each side past the Toro optics plate. But yeah, I kind of like racking it like this. This is a pretty cool way to do it. Or like that. Or you can come across from the back. And I know a lot of you guys like to release your handgun like that. Then it's not going to interfere with you whatsoever. I'll have this out to the range very soon. Show you guys the first shots with the pistol and the first shots with this. And I'll give you guys a teaser for a couple upcoming videos. Some of you have been asking me to do another G3 video. I may just have a G3 that might be real similar to this, if you know what I mean. So look for that very soon. Also, I have a new Forge Tech holster for this that I'm going to include in another short video very soon. A holster that will accommodate this green dot sight. I don't know, I think I'm going to like this. I'm having good first all impressions, and I'll catch you guys in some follow-ups very soon. Alright, thanks for watching, and have a good one.